The Sonic franchise has rapidly become a standout in the world of video game adaptations, with its ability to blend nostalgia with exciting new storytelling. The third installment, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, was a significant challenge for the creative team behind it, with writers Pat Casey and Josh Miller admitting in recent interviews that it was particularly tricky compared to the first two films. The addition of new characters, notably the popular anti-hero Shadow, brought a level of complexity that required more careful thought and consideration. However, despite these challenges, the experience of crafting the movie was equally enjoyable and rewarding for the duo, who are longtime Sonic fans themselves. Sonic 3, a tricky challenge for the writers. Pat Casey and Josh Miller, who have been with the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise since the very beginning, have now seen their creation evolve from a simple video game character into a full-fledged cinematic universe. For the third film, however, they encountered a unique set of hurdles. While they found writing the first two films to be fun and relatively straightforward, the third entry posed different challenges. In particular, the introduction of the character Shadow the Hedgehog, along with a more intricate backstory for Maria, made the writing process much trickier. Shadow, one of the most beloved and complex characters in the Sonic universe, presented a particular challenge. His story and motivations had to be integrated carefully into the existing narrative, maintaining the essence of the character while also making him fit into the film's larger world. The writers had to balance fan expectations with their desire to create an engaging and fresh storyline. In a candid interview, Miller shared his thoughts on this difficulty, stating, "It was both fun and tricky compared to the first two films. As a Sonic fan, you know those are drawing from games that had much more rudimentary storylines. The games, which often followed simple and action-driven plots, provided the foundational material for the films, but they didn't necessarily offer the depth needed for a blockbuster movie experience." A team effort, Casey and Miller's approach to writing. Throughout the creative process, Casey and Miller kept in mind their primary goal: to deliver fresh, exciting ideas to director Jeff Fowler. Miller revealed that their role was to blast Jeff Fowler with ideas, leaving it up to the director to act as the filter for what would make it into the film. This collaborative approach allowed for an exchange of creative energy between the writers and the director, ultimately helping to shape the final product. This approach worked well, particularly with the introduction of Shadow and Maria, who required thoughtful handling to ensure that their backstories fit into the larger narrative without feeling forced or disconnected. As Miller explained, the writers were aware that Jeff was very concerned with getting the Maria elements and all that backstory stuff correct. This was an important consideration, as the relationship between Maria and Shadow plays a key role in shaping the latter's motivations and character development. Keanu Reeves and Maria's characters, a complex addition. While the introduction of Shadow and Maria posed a significant creative challenge, the involvement of high-profile actors such as Keanu Reeves added another layer of complexity to the process. The casting of Reeves, a beloved actor known for his iconic roles in movies like The Matrix and John Wick, added both a unique opportunity and a set of expectations to the project. As part of the narrative expansion in Sonic 3, the film delves deeper into Shadow's backstory, exploring his complex relationship with Maria. Maria, a pivotal character in the Sonic lore, is not only central to the development of Shadow, but also tied to the series' larger emotional narrative. Her character required careful writing to ensure that her story was compelling and respectful of the source material. It was a delicate balance to maintain, as the writers wanted to honor the essence of the Sonic universe while also giving the characters more depth and significance. For the filmmakers, this challenge was compounded by the importance of remaining true to the fans who have followed Sonic for decades. The inclusion of these new, complex characters had to be done in a way that didn't alienate longtime fans of the series, while also drawing in a wider audience who might be unfamiliar with the intricacies of the Sonic games and their lore. Jim Carrey's return to the franchise. While the writing team faced numerous challenges, they were also determined to bring back the iconic Jim Carrey for the third film, following his memorable performance as Dr. Robotnik in the first two Sonic movies. However, Carrey's return was not guaranteed, as he had announced his retirement from acting before the third installment was greenlit. This posed a potential setback for the filmmakers, who knew that Carrey's unique portrayal of the over-the-top villain was integral to the success of the films. As it turns out, Carrey's decision to retire was not as firm as it initially seemed. After reading the script for Sonic 3, The actor was so impressed that he decided to come out of retirement and reprise his role as the eccentric villain. This was a huge win for the franchise, as Carrey's larger-than-life performance as Dr. Robotnik was one of the defining aspects of the first two films. Carrey's return provided the creative team with another opportunity to build on the dynamics established in the previous films. The villainous Dr. Robotnik is often at the center of the Sonic films' action and humor, and Carrey's comedic timing and dynamic presence were essential to making the third installment as enjoyable as its predecessors. The Sonic franchise's evolution. With each installment, the Sonic the Hedgehog film series has evolved from a relatively simple adaptation of a beloved video game character to a complex, multi-layered narrative. The success of the franchise lies in its ability to retain the core elements of Sonic's world: speed, adventure, and fun, while expanding the narrative to include a rich array of characters and deeper emotional arcs. The inclusion of characters like Shadow and Maria in Sonic 3 demonstrates the filmmaker's willingness to embrace the complexities of the Sonic universe and adapt them for the big screen. As the franchise moves forward, it will likely continue to explore new characters, more complex storylines, and even greater stakes. Fans of the Sonic series can look forward to a future that builds on the foundations laid by the previous films, all while introducing new and exciting elements to keep the adventures fresh and engaging. Conclusion: a fresh chapter for Sonic. The challenges of creating Sonic 3 were significant, but they were met with creativity, passion, and a deep understanding of the Sonic universe. The inclusion of characters like Shadow and Maria, along with the return of Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, show that the filmmakers are committed to delivering a film that both respects the original material and expands the franchise in exciting new directions. For Casey and Miller, the experience of writing Sonic 3 was both fun and challenging, and they are clearly proud of the work they've done. With a dynamic blend of old and new, the film promises to be a thrilling addition to the Sonic saga, offering fans both nostalgic moments and fresh experiences. As the Sonic franchise continues to grow and evolve, one thing is certain: the journey of the Blue Hedgehog is far from over.